I'm Hillary. Welcome to Teaching Moments. So in my last video, I did a review on the A Beka science curriculum for grades kindergarten through 6th. Today, I'm going to review grades 7 through 10. So let's start with our 7th grade book. Here's the 7th grade science curriculum. This one is mostly on animals. I really liked this one. It starts with animals and it ends with ecology. But what I really liked about it is that it gives a really good foundation between the differences of creationism, evolution, and materialism. And it really explains why creationists believe what they believe, why evolutionists believe what they believe, and then it gives examples of the things that have happened. So when I was growing up, I knew that I believed in creation, but I didn't have any better answer for why I believed it than that's what the Bible says. Really, that's the best answer, but because that's what the Bible says, and so that's what I believe. But in here, they do give some really good points and some really good examples, and it's also good to see why evolutionists believe what they believe. So I love the foundation that they give to the kids in 7th grade for that. They do touch on it a little bit in the books after this in the high school. But this is where it starts and where it gives a really good foundation. So that's what I love about this book. And it also starts to talk about the classification of science, the classifications of animals, and then the history of science. So I really liked this book. And of course, this is just like all the other A Beka curriculum from 4th up to where they have a student textbook. Although 7th grade is the first time the teachers have their own textbook. And in the back of the teacher textbook is the lesson and curriculum plans. So there's the teacher textbook, and then there's the answer key to the student textbook questions. And then there is the student test, the answer key to the student tests, the student quizzes, and the answer key to the student quizzes. So, like I said, just like the other books, this is classic A Beka style. You've got several books for one subject. This is just how A Beka does it for their history, science, and their health. It can get a little confusing to the beginner who just starts this way, but be sure to look in your teacher lesson plans and it'll show you how to correlate each of the books so that you don't miss a quiz or a worksheet that you were supposed to do. I did that at first. I got really into what was in the text and I just kind of accidentally cruised past a couple of those worksheets, but just keep an eye on your lesson plans there. Okay, so that was 7th grade. I really liked that one. This is the 8th grade science book. Now, I bought these for my first child, and then I just bought a set of 4 of all the consumables so that they would match the textbooks, so they would match the teacher books. I had been through it before where I got some that didn't match, and that's why I bought 4 at 4 kids. So some of the covers might have changed, but I think for the most part they're the same. They are doing a huge overhaul. I think it's on 3rd grade though. It'll slowly catch up to the other grades, but for now, I think this is what it still looks like. So this is the 8th grade book, Science, Earth and Space, and just like it says, this one really concentrates more on Earth and space. It was a nice break from plants and insects because all the other books really covered plants and insects, and I got really tired of learning about insects. But so yes, this was a good one on Earth and Space. I liked this book, and I will be keeping this one to teach to my other children. So, and they do have all the books just like they did for the 7th grade. So I won't go through all of those again with like the quizzes and the tests and the teacher book. So this is 8th grade. And then in 9th grade, they have Science, Matter, and Energy. Again, complete with also a teacher book with the lesson plans in the back and all the other books like the other previous grades. This one was interesting topics, like it has electronics, some chemistry. Let me just kind of get an overview of the topics here. measuring matter, states of matter, foundations of chemistry, one small chapter on science versus evolution, motion and forces, waves and sound, light and color, and then electrostatics, magnetism, electricity. So they have some really interesting topics that they haven't really touched on much before, and if they did, it was a very small amount in the previous grades, elementary school, I think. So those are neat topics, but I don't feel like they did a very good job on it. Out of this whole group, this is the only book I didn't like. It was very dry, and I don't feel like they took time to really explain it to the kids, because they kind of went from their brief knowledge. If they stayed with A Beka the whole time in science, they would go from a brief knowledge of all these things to all of a sudden, boom, very wordy, very dry. So I didn't really like this, and I like these topics. I like a lot of these topics, but I didn't like the way they did this one. So that was your 9th grade. And the last one I have here is the 10th grade, biology. Look at that, it's getting pretty thick here. So this one goes through plants, animals, humans, and DNA. I really like this book. This is a very well done one, very well done biology book for the 10th grade. It's a lot. They're in high school by this time, 10th grade. They should be able to do a lot. I do like how there are some human overlays here, good visuals for them. Like I said, I think they did a very good job on the explanation of all of these things and teaching them on all this. It is a lot about animals, but I think they did a great job. Again, you have all of your books. You've got your teacher book with the lesson plans in the back. If you wanted to make this into probably over a year, you probably could do that, because they're more thorough and more detailed in this biology book than they were in their previous books, which I was so glad to see, because in elementary they gave just such a brief explanation of things. I really felt like the kids could have taken a little bit more in depth in elementary school, but here they did a great job for biology. So I would highly advise that one. So the 11th grade is chemistry and 12th grade is physics. I didn't buy either of those books, and I've never seen them before, so can't really do a review on them, but that's what they had there. So for this group, I did like the older grades, except for 9th grade. So I hope that has helped you to decide on this A Beka curriculum for science, and thank you for watching.